Okay, hello. We are here this is our third month now for our Facebook chats. And we have Michelle here today to talk to us all about Disney travel. And the big reason I wanted to invite her is that when I went to Disney with my family, my PT brain never fully shuts off. And I noticed how the different accessibility features that Disney had just really impressed me. I felt like they really went out of their way to make the experience really special for families and lower some of the stress that travel and being out of the kind of usual schedule and all of that and lines and all of that. So I was really curious about how that works and how they kind of make things easier for families. And so I thought we would invite Michelle to tell us a little bit about what she does and also some of the different things that Disney offers to make things easier for families traveling with kids with special needs. So welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So I am with Years of Experience, and at no extra cost to your own vacation, we help you plan to go on your vacation to Disney, all destinations Disney, SeaWorld, and Universal. And I am one of the representatives of my company that specializes in special needs. So a lot of times my company will come to me and use me as a point person, which I think is just wonderful. And yes, you're correct that Disney is the best place for many things. So our families that have all different kinds of special needs, mobility issues, cognitive issues, food allergies, they are very special to take care of all of us. But I think that the best thing that they do, I am specialized in it because I have my own special needs kids. And my older son has autism, and my younger son has a speech delay and may have autism also. So we became very familiar with how to use the Disability Access Service Pass. So it's not for people who have mobility issues, but it's more for people that they can't tolerate standing in those lines for other reasons, like a neurological reason. My son has very difficult time standing in lines for almost any length of time. And a great example of that is and I'm sure that you've seen this, even with my son, who was very, very excited to go see the princesses at a lunch. We were just waiting to get into the building. And in that period of time, he had a meltdown, and we sat down on the curb, and I had to hold him very tightly to the point where he gave himself, he exhausted all of his energy and actually ended up falling asleep during the lunch. So that's what Disney does is they have this great way of this disability access service that they will allow a family. So if my son wants to go on a ride, then any one of us, because we, have our DAS pass hooked up on our Magic Bands, can go up to the Fast Pass line and scan our bands, and they'll give you a return time. Now, it's a virtual queue for us, so we're not staying. We're staying the majority of the time. You come back about 10 minutes less than the regular queue line. But what that does for people in my family is then if somebody needed to use the bathroom for an extended period of time, like if you needed to go in and help change a child, or if we need to go and sit down and have a snack, it gives us that availability and flexibility to walk around and not be standing in that queue line. So we still spend the same amount of time that someone else would while they're standing in line. We just have they give us that little extra that we can walk around or do something besides just standing in that line, where he'll have a lot of difficulty standing in that line. And then we come back and he has to be the first one to scan in, and then we go through the Fast Pass part of that line.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So it just kind of breaks up. You still have that same time, but it breaks it up so
Yes.
that you're not literally just standing there.
Yes.
Yeah, and having all that sensory stimulation and yeah. Now, what about you mentioned there's a lot of kind of allergy friendly things that they do. What kind of things do they do for the allergy awareness? Because I know that's such a common issue these days.
Sure. Well, we have a list of restaurants which are the better restaurants to go to. The majority of the restaurants, especially the sit down places, they are going to accommodate every food allergy that you have. And what happens is the chef will specially prepare those foods. They know that you're coming. They'll prepare those foods, and the chef will actually bring it out to you and serve it to your family and greet you with that. And if there's leftovers, they let you take the leftovers too. I actually have families that say, we'd rather eat in Disney than anywhere else in the world. And I said, I agree. I think it's just great. But they don't only do it for that, they do it for Halloween also. So you can still participate in that. There is a different, like a token system that you would go and get something that is, like we have like the blue pumpkins. They don't do blue pumpkins. They have a token system, but so they can participate in that and not be afraid of having their food allergies be affected.
Okay. So I've never been there for Halloween. I know that they do a lot. So is there like trick or treating type of setup that they'll then have allergy friendly options?
Yes,
Okay.
they will. Yeah, yeah. Usually it's you will go through a special different lines or so around the park, and they hand out candy, but instead you can request to get a token that you can redeem for something else, which is good.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Now, what about for people with mobility problems? Do they have, how does that work with the lines and get on, are different rides accessible for
Right.
like a wheelchair?
Right. There are very few rides that are not accessible, and actually, in I'm like looking, I have a disability map in my drawer over here, and actually, they have maps that you can get at the front, and it'll show you different places, different areas that can help you. So if you had a mobility issue and you weren't able to get, it would be difficult. Like maybe you have a wheelchair. They do have wheelchair access everywhere. And they'll, just bring you in. If you can transfer, that's what majority of people will need to do, a short amount of transfer sideways. So if you can do that, then it's almost like sky's the limit for everything. They accommodate the best that they can.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if someone wanted your help in planning, how does that work? What's the best way for people to reach out to you and connect?
That's wonderful. That's a great question. So you can find me at Ears of Experience with Michelle McKeown. And I'll post the link in the comments so you can get there too. You can send me a message through Facebook. You can also call or text my phone number. So my work phone number is 908-86-MOUSE, MOUSE. So, or 908-866-6873. So, I'm on pretty much everything at all the social medias. If you just search my name, it's either comes up Ears of Experience with Michelle or Ears of Experience with Michelle McKeown. And I love doing this. You know what another benefit is for our families is that when you stay at the resorts, especially moderate and deluxe resorts, for the moderate and deluxe resorts, I'm on call 24/7. So you spend less time having, you get less stress. So I can help you and step in if you have any difficulties while you're there. People do have questions. We send out a full itinerary packet to you before you go, and we just help you along the way. So it's a really great process.
That's great. Thank you. And very important question. How many times have you been to Disney?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think I go right now about 2 to 3 times a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that times, oh my goodness, I can't reveal my age. So all the magic would be gone. Yes. Yeah. We love to go.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And if anyone has any questions, her contact information will be below in the comments. So feel free to reach out, or you can always message me and I'll put you in touch. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.